Welcome to the second session. Here we are done with Unit 1, Quadratic Equations, where we learn different methods to solve the quadratic equations, like factorization method, completing square method, and quadratic formula. Whereas in exercise 1.3 and 1.4, we solve radical equations and exponential equations by reducing them into quadratic form. As far as Unit 2 is concerned, here we are not going to solve the quadratic equations. Rather, here in this chapter, we will learn more about quadratic equations. Therefore, this chapter is named as Theory of Quadratic Equations. And the topic which will be discussed today is nature of the roots of quadratic equation. I am again repeating the topic, nature of the roots. Here in this context, nature means category or types, whereas roots means answers or solution sets of quadratic equation. So the topic states that we are going to discuss the types of the answers of quadratic equation, or that the roots or the answers of quadratic equation falls in which category. Here category or types means the types of numbers like real numbers, imaginary numbers, rational numbers, irrational numbers, what type of numbers, what type of roots the quadratic equation has. Here in this chapter we are not going to solve the quadratic equations as the solutions are done in chapter 1. Here we will just discuss the roots, the types of the answers of quadratic equation. Let's go ahead how it can be. The roots, the two roots of the equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 are. As you know that this is the standard form of quadratic equation. When this standard form of quadratic equation is solved by completing square method, so as a result we will have two roots. Root 1 minus b plus b square minus 4ac divided by 2 and minus b square minus 4ac divided by 2. This is basically what? Quadratic formula, that if we write combinedly, so we write plus minus one time here combinedly. So this quadratic formula is basically the answers or the roots of quadratic equation as it was discussed in exercise 1.2. Next is the nature of the roots, means the types of the answers depends on the value of the expression. Which expression? B square minus 4ac, the expression which is written inside the square root. It's telling here that the nature of the roots, the types of the roots, this depends on what? B square minus 4ac. It doesn't depend on b, it doesn't depend on 2a, rather it just depends on this expression. So this expression will decide that what type of the answers we will have, whether we will have the answers in rational form, irrational form, imaginary numbers, what type of numbers. So this expression is known as discriminant of the quadratic equation. Here this is the standard form of quadratic equation and this is the discriminant, b square minus 4ac. Okay, let's see here that how this discriminant determine the nature of the roots of quadratic equation. Here are four rules, or we can say here are four statements. This will explain that how nature of roots depend on the discriminant. The first one is that if b square minus 4ac, means if the discriminant is greater than 0. Greater than 0 means 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, the numbers which are greater than 0, and is perfect square. The second condition is number should be greater than 0 and it should be perfect square. So as a result the roots will be rational. Rational means those type of numbers which can be written in fraction form. Why inside the bracket it is written real? Because fraction number exist in our life. We can see them as we can see on the books and the exercises given, so they are in the set of real numbers. and unequal. Let's see how it will be unequal. For this statement, example is given here. This is self-made. You can change this example by assigning it different numbers, up to you. So here I have written the quadratic formula, or you can see here the value of x minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac divided by 2, as we can know that the unknown variable can be found by the help of quadratic formula. So it is written here, and the expression which is known as discriminant is here. Minus b, I have assigned from myself a value 2, and instead of 1 is written. So b square minus 4ac. The condition is it should be greater than 0. 16 is greater than 0, of course. And is perfect square. 16 is a perfect square. Yeah, you can give 4 here as well, up to you, or any other perfect square number. So let's see that if this discriminant is according to this condition, so what will be the roots? When you have solved, the roots are what? Rational. Rational number comes in real number, of course. Why it is rational? Because it is written in fraction form. Are they unequal? Yes. Why? Because once we have to go with plus, once we have to go with minus, so it will result in unequal. So hence we can conclude that if discriminant is 0 greater than 0 and perfect square, so the roots will be rational and unequal. Whereas if we go towards the statement 2, if b square minus 4ac is greater than 0 and is not a perfect square, is it 5 greater than 0? Of course. And is it perfect square? No, it is not a perfect square. So let's see that what will be the roots. When I take the square root of 5, so as a result I will have a non-terminating, non-recurring number. So as you know, and you have done in grade 9, that non-terminating, non-recurring numbers cannot be written in fraction form, because we don't know that in denominator how many zeros should we write. So because of this irrational number, the roots will be what? Irrational. Of course, real it will be, and it will be unequal as well, because plus and minus sign. This is a little bit conceptual and a little bit difficult to be understood now, but when you will solve the exercise, then you will gradually get it. Next, third statement is if b square minus 4ac is equal 0. Yeah, if discriminant is equal 0, you can see here that this expression is discriminant, and instead of this I have put 0. Then the roots are what? Rational, of course, real and equal. Only if this condition happens in where discriminant is 0, the roots will be equal. Why? Because if you add 0 or you subtract 0, you will get the same number. So therefore, when discriminant is 0, the roots will be equal, and it will be rational as well. How rational? Because you can write this in fraction form. The denominator of minus 2 can be 1. Minus 2 upon 1 is a fraction number. It can be. So therefore, it can be rational. Fourth part is if b square minus 4ac is less than 0. What is less than 0? Means minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, all the negative numbers are less than 0. So here I have chosen this type, this negative number, minus 2. You can write minus 4, minus 5, up to you. Then the roots are what? Imaginary. How it is imaginary? Since if you take the square root of 2, so you will be having any irrational number as a result, or if here is 4, so you can write the square root of 4 as a 2. But minus does not have any square root. The square root of minus does not exist. Why? Because minus will result in plus. So mathematicians have let or have supposed the square root of minus as iota, means imaginary. They have imagined it, that let's suppose the square root of minus be iota. So whenever you see any negative means number inside the square root, or negative sign inside the square root, so it will result in imaginary number. So of course, when inside the square root the discriminant is negative, so the roots will be what? Imaginary. Here these examples are self-made in order to explain these statements. So here it is verified that the roots depends on discriminant means the nature of the roots, not the actual. We are not finding the actual answers, we are just finding the types of the roots. Okay. Let's go with the exercise, then you will understand it a little bit furthermore. Okay, exercise 2.1, question number 1, first part. Question number 1 is that you have to find the discriminant. Just you are only supposed to find the discriminant. So here an equation is written, and we can, first of all, we have to see that whether it is in standard form or not. Of course, this is written in standard form. Here a can be 2, b can be 3, c can be -1. Don't ignore this sign, it should be written because it is -1. So we have to find the discriminant. Discriminant, as we know that this is b square minus 4ac. We have put the value of b 3 square. 4 is written as it is. Value of a is 2 and value of c is -1. By calculation, we got discriminant as 17. We are just supposed to do till here. And all the parts of question number 1 is similar to that, so you can do yourself. Question number 2 is that you are going to determine the nature of the roots. What here, you are not going to solve this quadratic equation, rather you have to determine the nature of the roots. Means you have to tell that what type of the roots this equation will have, whether imaginary, whether rational, irrational, what type of the roots. And nature of the root is determined by what? By discriminant. You have to keep one thing in mind, that whenever in question it's discussed about the roots, nature of the roots, so you must link it with discriminant. If the equation is like that solve the equation, so you have to find out the answers in terms of x. But if it is that discussed about the nature of the roots or the discriminant, so it means these are connected with each other. So as the question is that you are going to find the nature of the roots, so you can find the nature of the roots with the help of discriminant. So here I have written the discriminant, and we have by calculation we got -47, and -47 is the negative number, and a negative number is less than 0. So the statement is written in conclusion that as discriminant is negative, therefore the roots are imaginary and unequal. How? Here, as it was proved that if discriminant is less than 0, so the roots will be what? Imaginary. So here it is done that the roots are less than 0, so the roots are imaginary, and of course unequal due to plus and minus sign. This question is not till here, rather the second part is that you have to verify that whether this discriminant tells the correct thing. You have to verify the result. So of course it can be verified when you will solve this quadratic equation. Verification can be when you will find the exact answers. So of course this can be solved. You have to see first of all whether it can be factorized. If not factorized, then you can go with quadratic formula. So quadratic formula is used here since it cannot be factorized, and we have put all the values. The value of b is 3, c is 7, and this is done by calculation. We got -47. -47 is an imaginary. Because of this minus sign, the answers will be what? In imaginary. So it means if we will just solve till here, we can understand we can come to know about the types of the roots, that the roots are imaginary. So it means that the discriminants do the correct decision. Okay, next question is question number 4. I am right now I'm skipping question number 3. It will be done at the end because it has a little bit different concept. So when you will do all the parts, so at last we will inshallah discuss it. So question number 4 is third part. It consists of 3 parts. The third part is find the value of k. What is the objective? We have to find the value of k. At the end, the result should be the value of k. But a condition is given here that the roots are equal. Make sure, students, that you have to keep one thing in mind, that whenever about the roots are discussed, so you must connect or link the roots with the discriminant, because the nature of the roots are determined by discriminant. So as it is said here, the roots are equal. When the roots are equal, when discriminant is what? 0. So it is written here, since the roots are equal, so discriminant will be 0. This statement is must to be written, because if here will not be 0, then how you can go with the shifting, and then how you can find the value of k? So there must be 0. Therefore this condition is given here, so that you can put discriminant equal 0. Standard form of quadratic equation is here. The value of a is 3k plus 2, the coefficient of x square. This whole 5k plus 1 is the coefficient of b, and this 2k plus 3 is without any variable, so this is the constant term written. We are putting the value here. This square will be above all this. Then 4ac minus minus can be plus 5 5 25, then k plus 1 whole square is written. Then 3 3 2s are 6, 3 3s are 9, 2 2s are k 4, then 3 2s are 6. Here it is done. K plus 1 whole square, you can write it 2 times and go with multiplication. If not, then you can apply the shortcut method, means formula. 4 is multiplied with every term here. 9k plus 4k 13, so 13 into 4 will result in 52 if you are good in table. 25k square, 25 into 2 50k, then 25 1 is 25, and these are written as it is. Now we have to go with the addition or subtraction of like terms. 25k square minus 24k square will result in k square. 50k 52k, of course minus 2k. 25 minus 24 1. Here you can see 3 terms. You can go with midterm partition, or you can apply the formula here. Since it can be a square minus 2ab plus b square, the shrink form will be k minus 1 whole square. You can write this bracket 2 times, and you can find the value of k as a 1. Since both the values are same, so you can write the value of k 1 time as 1. It is found here. By the help of this condition, we have found the value of k. Okay, next question is question number 5. If it is getting lengthy, I don't know, but if you are not getting it now, but this video will be shared with you, you can watch it time and again then later on. Show that the equation has equal roots. What you are going to do, we have to show that the given equation has equal roots. One more condition is given: if c square is equal to a square plus 1 plus m square. The equation is written here. This is the equation, and we have to show at the end that this equation has equal roots. Now, as I told you earlier, that whenever roots are discussed, it means roots can be connected with discriminant, because here we are not going to solve the equation. It is not said here that you have to solve the equation and find it whether the roots are equal or not. We are just going to show that the roots are equal. Fine. So we can know about the types of the roots with the help of discriminant. So we will use the concept of discriminant here. But before moving or proceeding towards the discriminant, you have to make sure that whether the equation is written in standard form or not. As it is not written, because here round bracket exists, so we have to solve it. First of all, x square is written as it is. A plus b whole square, a square plus 2ab plus b square, a minus a square, and this side we have 0. Here we have 2x square, so x square is taken common. In order to write this in standard form, this is written as it is. Constant term are brought together. So this is x square plus bx plus c. This is now in standard form. What statement is written here? These statements are very, very important. To show that the roots are equal. To show that the roots are equal. What we have to do? Discriminant should be proved equal 0. हमने प्रूफ करना है कि रूट्स इक्वल हैं, तो रूट्स को इक्वल प्रूफ करने के लिए हमें डिस्क्रिमिनेंट को 0 प्रूव करना होगा. वाई? बिकॉज डिस्क्रिमिनेंट हैज़ लिंक्ड विद रूट्स. If discriminant is 0, so roots are equal. If roots are equal, so discriminant is 0. Here we have to prove roots equal, so therefore we can prove it by proving discriminant equal 0. So here is the discriminant. We have put the value of b to m square, then for this one the values are written from here, a and c. The values are brought down. This can be multiplied 2 times. It is written here. First 2 brackets should be multiplied. c1 is c, then 1 square, then m into c square, then a into m square. This is written. Now 4 is multiplied with every term here. These both are the like terms, so they are cancelled by subtraction. Now as a result we have these three terms. Here we can take 4 common for further simplification. 4 is taken common here. Now you can see here that after taking 4 common, you can see c square here, and you can see c square here in given condition. So you have to use this condition. 4 is written as it is, a is written as it is. Instead of c, what is written? The value of this, which is given in the question. So the value of c is a square 1 plus m square, and this value is brought down as it is. A square, now bracket is solved. Now you can see a and a can be subtracted, this can be subtracted, and as a result we have 0. When any number is multiplied with 0, as a result we will get 0. So hence we can conclude here that as discriminant is 0, so hence the roots are equal. So this is the characteristic, or we can see the attributes of discriminant, that it tells about nature of the roots of the quadratic equation. We are done here till question number 5 due to limited time. Then we will continue ahead in next class, inshallah. Here some instructions are given for your home assignments. Please, you have to go through it. Attempt the assignments on your neat notebook. For assignment submission, capture a clear picture of it and send to boys section citycampus@hotmail.com and girls section girls section citycampus@hotmail.com. Next is assignment should be submitted before the next class. Yeah, this is very important. I'm receiving homework, means old homework, so it's very difficult for me to maintain a proper record of that. So I just request you to please, it's must to submit the assignment before the next class. Like by Saturday the homework is given to you, so before Saturday if you submit, or you submit before the class like Wednesday or Thursday, it is better. Assignment should be done neat along margin line, date, topic and exercise number, of course. So homework for this week, since it is a third week, we have exercise 1.3. Most of you have not done exercise 1.1, 1.2. I have just received the homework of Mehlal, and I just appreciate Mehlal. You have done very neat and very accurate, good homework. I am very pleased with your homework. And then Sophia has also submitted me homework. Very good efforts. Momina Harim has done just exercise 1.1 2 questions, but the rest of you have not submitted me your assignment. So I want you to please submit me your assignment as soon as possible, and don't lag behind, because then it will be a burden on you. So exercise 1.3, question number 12 till 16, because the previous questions were the previous homework. Exercise 1.4, then exercise 2.1, question number 1, 2. Okay, you have to 8 here. I forgot to 8, 4 and 5, which is explained in the video. You can again copy it as a practice. Okay, next. Here I have, because I know that most of you may not have the books with you, so therefore you can see the questions from here. This is exercise 1.3. These are the question here. This part, one part is solved as example. This part is also solved as example, so we can solve the further parts. These are the radical equations. 2 parts are solved from here, and the rest are similar to that, so you can go ahead. As far as exercise 2.1 is concerned, see, the first question is find the discriminant. This part is solved, and these 3 parts can be easily solved by you. Then the second is find the nature of the roots, means nature of the roots can be found with discriminant. आप discriminant से nature of the roots find करेंगे, then you will write the statement that what type of the roots are here. Then you can go with the verification as well and verify the result by solving. You can solve the equations. If it can be factorized, you can go with factorization, otherwise then quadratic formula. Then I told you that till now we are going to skip question number 3. Then question number 4, this part is solved, and keeping in view this, you can solve this. Question number 5 is also done, and the rest we will do inshallah in next class. Have a nice day, stay blessed. Allah Hafiz.